our Black, Latino, and Native Americans. When the Lord says that our kingdom is to come, as long as we follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
I got the camera bag, I'm the cameraman. If shit getting active, I'ma stand it down. We taking ground, call the ambulance. That shit go right, left, right. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go. If you got a problem, we'll handle it. Niggas acting hard, you better stand on it. We on every corner, we stamping it. You better get your life for this king shit. We ain't playing around, there's no cowards, dog. If niggas charged up, you get powered off. Rude of speech, keep it raw. It ain't my fault that you niggas soft. It ain't my fault that these niggas frauds. It ain't my fault that them niggas rats. If your colors fly, you don't get that shit go. Left, right, left. Right. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go left, right, right. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go.
Wanna go to war, gotta hop into the van. Tryna cut the semen, something you don't understand. Getting checked from my betterment, better take it like a man. Nigga, how you walk away from camp? If you willing to die, you better be willing to stand. Take a trip around the world, see a bunch of corners held by them UPK niggas. All them UPK niggas go to camp. And I'm on Shamar here, hanging out the car window when I pull up straight to the battlefield. And I'ma make sure niggas make it back home. Say, nigga, what you thought? With anything moving, I be on. Gotta remind them, we nothing like them niggas that you saw. If you hear back up, that'll be your last time to get out the way. The price to pay before.
That shit go.
Nah, for real though.
If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right.
Oh yeah, no sweat, no sweat.
That shit go left.
Nah, for real though.
Left. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that.
How about some y'all stop right there? Move that gun! Move that gun! Move that gun! The Father is here! The Father is here! Jehovah!
Yeah, I can see it. You see, I don't want to
Israel!
violence against my brother. That's what y'all was pulling out yesterday. It was an excellent class yesterday too. Oh yeah, wonderful. Great participation. All that. All right. Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at a 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group, nor any other Christian organization, nor any Black Panther Party, no blackity black business group, whatever the hell you want to think of organization. We are just not affiliated with them at all. And also to be clear, we are not affiliated with Sydney Star. I mean, oh my God, did y'all hear about Sydney Star? Like, we really need to talk about brotherhood tonight. We need to talk about these scriptures tonight, because that LGBTQIA plus community is a community that we are not to support. We should not be allies to that community, because that community alone is detrimental to the Black, Latino, and Native American community. It does us no good. It gives us no justice. It gives us no hope. It does not bring us back to the God of our forefathers that's required of us. The only thing that's going to fix so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans is us coming back to the God of our forefathers. Don't allow anyone to trick you into believing that there's a other way to fix so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. There is no other way. Any other way is just a temporary solution. It's a temporary solution. It temporarily fixes us. It's like a Band-Aid. It does not fix. It is not a end all be all. When you want to talk about charitable organizations and charities, that is just a band-aid. You want to talking about opening up more black businesses, that is just a band-aid. Opening up your own school, your own children's school, your own middle school, your own high school, your own college, that is just a band-aid. Now, no one's telling you that you shouldn't make strides to opening up black businesses, because you should. If you are so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, you better open up a business. You better open up an elementary school. You better open up a middle school. You better open up a high school. You better open up a college. You better open up a university. But however, addition to that, you must come back to the God of your forefathers, or that university will never work. That college will never work. That elementary, that middle, that high school will never work. That black business will not be as conducive as you thought it was if we don't come back to the God of our forefathers. And that's what the Lord wants us to understand as a race of people. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it confused. The Bible says God is not the author of confusion. So don't get this twisted. We must come back to the God of our forefathers. We must come back and serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because that's the bloodline that goes through. That's the blood that runs through our bodies. It's a bloodline. It's a trait for us to come back to the God of our forefathers. Why is it that out of all the races of people on the planet, we are the only ones who fall back on God when things get hard? No other race of people falls back on God like blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans when things get rough. When things get rough and when things get hard, when there's a storm outside, you don't see the white man falling back to God, talking about, please, Lord, save me. When COVID-19 was going on, no other race of people was falling back on God to get rid of COVID-19 but blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Go outside in the middle of a tornado and a thunderstorm, you're going to see a white man or a white woman screaming at the tornado, talking about, come this way, kill me. There is no God. That's what you're going to see. During COVID-19, you're going to see a bunch of other nations and races of people not caring about what's outside, because they're the reason how it got here. They're the reason why COVID-19 existed, because of their diet, because of the things that they eat, because they're not a clean people like the Lord's people are. No other race of people falls back on God the way blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans do when times get hard. Don't get that twisted. Don't get that confused. Now, tonight's class is the brotherhood class. So now I'm going to ask you, what's synonymous with brotherhood? Any brother or sister in the chat also here? What's synonymous with brotherhood? Please, go ahead. Damn right. Sisterhood is synonymous with brotherhood. You can't have brotherhood without sisterhood. Keep in mind, if you're online too, still give your answers, because that's brotherhood. That's sisterhood. Always participate, because that's brotherhood and that's sisterhood. And they're synonymous with each other. You can't have brotherhood without sisterhood, and you can't have sisterhood without brotherhood. Allow me to understand that the brotherhood is going to be the strength of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Understand that. And sisterhood is the support of our race of people. And don't get that confused and don't get that twisted. You understand? I pray that everybody understands that. The brotherhood is the strength of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And sisterhood is the support of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which is why they are synonymous with each other. That said, if brotherhood and sisterhood are synonymous with each other, what is brotherhood and what is sisterhood? What is brotherhood and what is sisterhood? I can tell you what it's not. I can tell you what it's not, right? You can answer though. I can tell you what it's not. It's not that $93 million budget Norfolk receives for the police department. It ain't that. And the other several $1 million that we have no idea where it's going. I know that's not the love. I seen some sisters in there. Get them sisters a hand. Officer Shemagabar, you was going to give an answer to, of course. Not yet. See, you're skipping ahead out. You're skipping ahead out, right? See, I thought I was going to be able to give you a hand, brother. But that's the answer to the next question, right? Brotherhood and sisterhood is love. That's what. Yeah. I know. You realize he's like, oh, I skipped to you. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Sometimes when you know the test, it's quick. You know what I'm saying? You can skip it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? He went from question 1 all the way to question 10. You know, like, I hear you. Right? Brotherhood and sisterhood is love. That's what love is. Brotherhood. Love is sisterhood. Love isn't what you think it is. Love isn't what you feel it is. Love isn't what your daddy taught you. Love isn't what your mama taught you. Love isn't what the world taught you, what your family taught you, what the government taught you, not the infrastructures of America taught you. Love is what God says it is. So if brotherhood is love and sisterhood is love, then what is love? Officer Shemaiah Ball. Give Officer Shemaiah Ball a hand. Damn right. Now there we go. Right? Love is keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. We must keep the laws of God. That's what it means to come back to the God of our forefathers. That's what it means to lean on the God of our forefathers. That's what it means to lean on the understanding of God. Also, to not lean on your own understanding is keeping God's laws, statutes, and commandments. When the Bible says lean not on your own understanding, is because there's an understanding that does not work for so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. There's an understanding that destroys and ruins our community more than a little bit. There's an understanding that God gave us, which was going to fix our people, which was going to be a benefit and be conducive for our race of people. It was going to bring us prosperity and great success, like God said in the Bible. In 1 John chapter 5, verse 3, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Because that's what God said love is. Love ain't what the government said. Love isn't what America said. Love isn't what the presidents of America said. Love isn't what the CIA said. How do I know that love isn't what the CIA said it is? Because the CIA is responsible for pumping and pouring crack cocaine into the Black, Latino, and Native American community. Pumping and pouring heroin into the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American community. Pumping tobacco, cigarettes, Black and Milds, Relos, marijuana, cannabis into the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American community. This is how I know the CIA does not know what love is, and we should not listen to what they say love is. If you listen to the love of this world, you are listening to the love of the CIA. You are listening to the love of the FBI. You are listening to the love of what's the other federal ATF? Yeah, listen to the ATF. That's the love you're listening to, which is a COINTELPRO operation over the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American community. How many of you knew that right now we are watching a COINTELPRO operation happening in front of our eyes in the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American community? That's why Sydney Starr was able to go into a Hilton hotel or some Marriott hotel, some Motel 6, some Ramada, and confess that he gave oral sex to a 16-year-old boy, because America said 16 years old is the consent to have, that gives you the right to give consent to have sex. At the age of 16 through 17 is the age of consent, meaning your child, your teenager has the right to agree to sex to anyone who's a teenager themselves and sometimes an adult. Where's the law that says a child can't have sex with an adult? There's only a law where an adult can have sex with a child. Like the spirit of our oppressor, is so freaking evil. It's so flipping evil. That's why we must come back to the love of God. Can I get Deuteronomy? Is it Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 5 through 6, where it gives me the understanding that God gave us and not the understanding of this world? The Bible talks, this is how we prepare our people. We must prepare our people the way the Lord said for us to prepare each other. The problem is the Christian church does not prepare so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans for what awaits them out their doorstep, out their door, out there in the world. That's the problem that we're going through right now, that the Christian church, who are the leaders of the so-called black, Latino, and Native American community, they do not prepare our people to serve God. They don't prepare our people for what's outside. There's nothing but evil outside. There's nothing but abortion. There's nothing but murder. There's nothing but unaliving. There's nothing but there's nothing but homosexuality. There's nothing but lesbianism. There's nothing but violence. There's nothing but police brutality. Our leaders don't prepare so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans for what's outside and what awaits for us outside our doorstep. Some of you pastors out there and your bishops and you deacons, you don't want to be blamed for what's going on in the so-called black, Latino, and Native American community, to the point where you'll watch a bunch of 80s music videos of Michael Jackson talking about the man in the mirror. If you want to make a change, it starts with you. That's the problem with the so-called black, Latino, and Native American community. It starts with you as a leader. But guess what? You are a leader that the Lord did not put in charge. You are a leader that the Lord did not plant. And I can prove all of this in the Bible tonight, because this is how we're going to prepare our people. Someone read Deuteronomy 4 and 5.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as to the Most High commanded me. So now pause right there. It says, behold, meaning look, I have taught you statutes and judgments. For the question for the class, what is a statute? Now, I'm giving you the opportunity, if you have to explain it the way you explain it in relation to laws, statutes, and commandments. If that's what helps you give me my answer, no sweat. But what is a statute?
Like, sir, if we think more physically, it's more like structure.
Give me more. And you can also give me an example.
Like a stipulation.
Okay.
Like you can do this, you can't do this, but you can do this.
Right.
So it's like a
and give me a practical example, because that will probably, because you're not wrong, right? I just need a practical example, and that will drive it home.
I'll give you a worldly example, right?
Please.
Say we're at a stoplight, and you can only turn right on this street between the hours of 4 p.m. and 4 a.m. But you can turn right here. But you can't turn right between this time zone.
That's an excellent example. That is a statute. Give Officer Shamagabar a hand. That's exactly right. So he used the example of a traffic stop, right? If you're at not a traffic stop, if you're at a traffic light, right? Because there's laws, right, in relation to the road, right? You have to take a test, right, at the DMV to get your license, and you have to know the laws of the road. And the laws of the road state that you must stop at a red light. That's the law. The law is you must stop at a red light, right? Now, a statute is you can make a right turn on red. That's a statute. Because the law says at point blank period, you cannot go past that red light, right? Also, but you can also make a right on red. It also says, in some cases, depending where you are, you can make a left on red. That's a statute. He also explained a statute in relation to the red light law is that during 3 to 5, 7 to 10, you can only make rights on red. That's another statute. Now, here's another statute as well. which will also drive it home too as well. If there's an ambulance behind you and a fire truck behind you, and you are at a red light, can you go through that red light? Yes or no? Oh, go ahead.
You can.
Right, because go ahead. You have to get out the way. That's a statute. Like, understand statutes like that. The law is, and give Sister Ra'aya hand because she's saying la'ah, which is still true. Because the law states, yeah, give her a hand too. Because the law does state you can't run that red light. But because of statutes, it's why you know, okay, in a situation like this, I can run the red light because I have to get out of the way for emergency vehicles. That's how statutes are. So think of it that way. So that was a great example, Officer Shamagabar, and the water Sister Raya. That was a good answer. All right. And so now it says, I have taught you statutes. Then it says, and meaning addition to judgments. What is a judgment? Give Officer Mataz Akara a hand. It's a punishment. Meaning, if you break one of these laws, if you run the red light, oh, okay, well, you ran the red light, you get a ticket. You get a ticket in the mail if it has a camera. If a police officer catches you, you get a ticket, right? Because you broke the law, right? Now, here's another greater example of why there are statutes. And the statutes throughout the law is how you prepare a people to serve God, right? The statutes help us prepare our race of people to turn back to the Lord and keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. If you see an emergency vehicle in America, there's an emergency vehicle behind you, and you're in front of the light, and it's a red light, you have to move out the way, which will cause you to run the red light, which means what? You get your picture taken. Your license plates get your picture taken. There's a system set up in America where if that happens, you go in front of a judge and you dispute why you had to run that red light. That's also why those judgments are there. Does everybody understand? There's a reason why there's judgments there. When the Bible says judgments, that's how you know that there's a system of judging established. So when you see the Bible talk about judgments, that's proof that there's a system that requires judgment, that requires judging. So when the Christian church, when the Christian church talks about the Bible saying that you cannot judge, that ain't what it's talking about, because the Lord has a system of judging to make sure that there are judgments made on situations, to make sure there's judgments made if laws are broken. This is how you prepare a people. This is the understanding that the Lord gave us. Even as the Lord, my God, commanded me. Keep reading that, Baba Kushah.
That ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. So whatever land, so it says whether that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. In context, this is talking about the land of Canaan, which eventually will be known as the land of Israel. The scriptures also manifold. No matter what land we're in, we must keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Do not let the Christian church to run game on us as a race of people. Don't allow them to trick us into believing that we don't have to serve God, that we don't have to keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, which is the only way to serve God. Take me to my next scripture, please, Baba Kushah. Like, this is important for our people to understand, because this is the understanding we need to prepare our people. Keep reading out. Verse 6. Keep, therefore, and do them
And so now these statutes and these judgments, we must keep them, therefore, and do them. Keep, therefore, and do them. Keep them for this reason. Keep going. This is the reason why we should keep these judgments and these statutes. Keep going.
For this is your wisdom.
For this is going to be your wisdom. When you go into the Bible talks about the wisdom of this world, but there's also a wisdom that God gave so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And that wisdom is right here, the statutes and the judgments. That's the wisdom that the Lord gave us, which means the Christian church is practicing a wisdom outside of God. That means the Christian church doesn't have wisdom when they say that God's laws, statutes, and commandments are done away with. That means the Christian church doesn't have any wisdom when they say that the law was nailed to the cross. The Christian church doesn't have any wisdom when they say the law is at the bottom of the pool when you get baptized in water. That's what these deacons are telling our people in that Christian church. That's what these ministers and these bishops and these pastors are telling and teaching our people in that church. There's no real wisdom in that church. Keep reading that.
And your understanding.
And it says, and meaning addition to your understanding. This is going to be our understanding as a race of people. Not what the CIA gave us, not what the ATF gave us, not what the FBI gave us, not what your sheriff's department gave us, not what your police department gave us, but what God gave us right here when it says, and your understanding. Keep reading.
In the sight of the nation.
Of the what?
Of the nation.
Of the what?
Of the nation.
Meaning this is what's going to be our wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations. So think of any race of people outside of the Israelites. This is going to be our wisdom to them. In the sight of the nations, our statutes, our judgment is going to be wisdom, is going to be understanding. That's why even to this day, most government bodies of other races of people take from the Bible. They take from God. They may not follow God. They may not believe in God, but they take from God. We are the only race of people who believed in having laws, statutes, and commandments that surround a moral compass. We're the only people. There's no record. There's no record of laws of morality found in Egypt. There's no record. There's no record of that. Not in the Ma'at, not in the Book of the Dead, not any of it. There's no record of laws that surround morality that was found in Babylon, in Assyria, the Persians and Medes, in the Grecian Empire, nor the Roman Empire, the Ottoman Empire, not one empire, not even in America. You understand? Like, that's what needs to be understood. This is what was going to be our understanding. Keep reading. Because this is what brotherhood and sisterhood looks like.
Which shall hear all these statutes.
Say what?
Which shall hear all these statutes.
All these nations, right? These nations shall hear, they're going to hear these statutes. Which meaning shall, meaning it's going to come. This is going to come to pass that they're going to hear these statutes. Keep reading.
And say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
That's what they said about the Native Americans. That's what they said about the Tainos. That's what they said about the Puerto Ricans. That's what they said about the Colombians. That's what they said about so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans as a whole, that we are a wise and understanding people. When these disgusting, pedophilish white men stepped foot in America and they encountered the Native Americans, they said these are a wise and understanding people. In addition to that, they were a peaceable people. And they taught these oppressors so much. And we as Native Americans embraced these devils with open arms, with open hands. And we were never supposed to do such a thing. And I mean, never. But this is the understanding that the Lord requires us to have, which are his statutes and his state and his judgments. Take me to Exodus 15:2. We're going to get about why it's so important for us to prepare our people to serve the Lord. Because this is something the Christian church does not do. They don't prepare our people to serve the Most High God. When it's in our law to prepare God's people, to prepare a place for the Most High God. That's in the Bible. That's what needs to be understood. That's something that needs to be taught. But you'll never find it in the Christian church, because the Christian church is the house of Satan. It's the house where devils dwell. It's the house of pedophiles. Can anybody tell me the religion of Sydney Starr? Can anybody tell me the God that Sydney Starr believes in? It's all over the internet. It was all over TV. It was all over the radio for many years. Only if Chingy knew that he had no business associating himself with Sydney Starr based on the God that he believed in. Only if that 16-year-old boy in that Hilton hotel knew that he was never supposed to associate himself with someone who serves a God that's not real, that serves a God that's fake, a God that supports pedophilia and homosexuality and lesbianism, and people who are attracted to minors, to children, people that are okay with being allies to the people who suffered adverse childhood experiences. Now, that's a technical term for some of y'all. All right. Look up adverse childhood experiences. That's the professional way to say sexual abuse, child abuse, any kind of abuse, if you don't want to be so blunt. Look up adverse childhood experiences. Did you know 83% of the LGBTQIA plus community admitted at least once in their life they went through an adverse childhood experience? That's 83%. That's not some. That's not a little bit. That's what was that? God, right? Come on, please. I said it's damn near all. It's damn near all. It's for sure more than half. You understand? It's getting crazy out there. That's 17. So what have the other 17% admitted to? Well, the other 17% said that they were never abused. They were never sexually assaulted. I can prove to you tonight that they were. I can prove it to you. Just based on knowing that 83%. I can tell you. Please. They were born this way. That other 17% say they were born this way. And I'll tell you why you think you're born this way. I'll tell you why. And also give whoever it was a hand. I seen it. It said Christian, right? Was it Officer Yagadar? Right. Give Officer Yagadar a hand, because the religion of Sydney, what's that brother's name again? Sydney Starr. You said what? John Oh yeah, that's his real, like John DeFrum, Sydney something. It's crazy, right? But Sydney Starr, right? He was a Christian. He was a Christian. Just in case if nobody understood, all right? Yeah, pronouns. Let me make sure I pronounce them pronouns clearly. He him was a Christian. All right. That's who Sidney Starr was. All right. This is why the Lord said for us to never serve the gods of our oppressors. We were never supposed to join ourselves to these people because look what it turned Sidney Starr out to be.
Right.
A pedophile. Now, Sidney Starr, right? Sidney Starr was out there. I believe Sidney Starr, he went around the industry and he never exposed that he was a man. He believed in never he believed it's his legal right to not have to tell anyone who wants to deal with him that he is a man. Right, like Eddie Winslow. We were just talking about that. Like Eddie Winslow. Now Eddie Winslow knew. Eddie Winslow no. He knew. He nasty for that. He knew. You know what I'm saying? He knew. And once again, what was the religion of Eddie Winslow? Right. Eddie Winslow was a Christian. He believed in white Caesar Borgia, Jesus Christ. That's who he believed in. That's why he thought it was acceptable, or maybe not acceptable, to have sex with Sidney Starr. Please, Ak, yes, I'm saying.
If I could. What you brought out was so heavy because the vast majority of that community has been touched, violated, however you want to phrase it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But to Officer Shamagabar's point, what they want to say is, oftentimes, the 17% says, well, I was born this way.
Right.
And what they will also say, even that 83% will say, well, you don't know that that's why I'm like this.
Exactly.
They want to remove that as any type of causation. And the horrible thing that Sidney Starr just proved is that hurt people hurt people.
Absolutely.
If you don't want to acknowledge that you've been hurt, it allows you to then be a predator.
Damn right.
Someone else.
Exactly.
And then they'll be convinced that that trauma has nothing to do with how they turn out later. And it absolutely does.
Give that brother a hand. And guess what? That's actually the other 17%. I'm gonna bring it home. I'm gonna bring it home in a bit, right? But just keep in mind that is the other 17%, right? Now, I guess Sidney Starr was born to give oral sex to a 16-year-old. Riddle me that, LGBTQIA plus community. Was Sidney Starr born to give oral sex to a 16-year-old boy in a Hilton hotel or Marriott? Listen, now we got to start questioning Hilton and Marriott. You know what I'm saying? Please.
The fact that it was a hotel just proved just to show that she tried to be
right. Nah, I told that's why I had to pronounce it out. I had to be clear. It's he, him. Now, please go ahead, Doc. Right.
It wasn't outside.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere spontaneous.
Right.
It was actually a hotel.
Yep.
Trying to be sneaky, cozy, and confined in.
Yes.
This nasty freak wanted to make some content off this young boy.
Yes. Right. He wanted to pass on his demons. He wanted to make another version of him. That's what he wanted to do. That's what Sidney Starr wanted to do. Now, that being said, right? Let's get into that 17%. This is why you think you were born this way. Because actually, let me give you a backstory, right? I'm gonna give y'all a backstory. Some of y'all know I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. Y'all probably know this about me. If y'all don't know, now y'all know. All right. Also, Mataza Karak gets on me all the time because every time we're in a conversation, he's like, "Go damn, Adawan, you've done everything." I'm like, you know what? I did dibble and dabble in a little bit of everything. You know, I worked on roofs. I built a deck before. You know what I'm saying? I'm an electrician by trade. I do a little bit of drywall. I know a little bit about flooring and cabinets. I did plumbing. I did a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Did I also tell you that I was a peer recovery specialist? Did I tell y'all that I used to counsel people who struggle with drug addiction and alcoholism and that struggle for mental health. Yeah, I know. I've done a lot. Some of y'all don't know. Black people, we do a lot. Some of y'all don't know the Latinos and Native Americans. We do a lot. We're qualified in a lot of things, right? So when I was doing my when I was you know what? There's a movie called Are We Done Yet? I think it's Are We Done Yet? Remember the dude that would wear the multiple hats with Ice Cube? Are you familiar with that movie?
Are we there yet?
No, but there's a second one called Are We Done Yet?
Okay. So
is it you know what I'm talking about? Well, right. Yeah, listen. I gotta watch it again myself. But this is what my rib would say to me. You could wear any hat. I could wear any hat. Who was the Fire Marshal Bill? I'm not Fire Marshal Bill though. I know what I'm doing. I'm not Fire Marshal Bill though. All right, I know what I'm doing. All right. So I was a peer recovery specialist, right? And I had a few clients, right? I had a few people I had to visit and give them counsel based on a let me see I guess based on like a peer-to-peer concept. You know what I'm saying? Like me, help them understand from a personal level. That's all that is, right? And I had over like 40 clients. And every last one of them shared something in common, who struggled with mental health, with drug abuse, alcoholism, or any type of addiction, which is classified as a brain disease, a mental illness, a drug addiction, or being an alcoholic. It is a brain disease. Go look that up. An addiction is a literal disease of the brain, right? And what they all had in common was that their first sexual experience ranged from ages 12 to 17. That's what all of them had in common. You know what else they all also had in common? They were homosexuals. They were what's that for? Oh, I'm sweating, huh? Oh, Salaki, the water. The water. No, you know, you too wild. Salaki. The water, you know what I'm saying? The water. you was okay, huh? The water. I know it's okay. Hey, nigga sweat. Salaki. You know what I'm saying? You are what's the technical term? Not evaporate, perspiring. You are perspiring. Nah, but what they all had in common was their first sexual experience was from ages 12, which is a preteen, some a little younger, but this was the average that I've noticed, from 12 to ages of 17. Now, they also shared in common that they were either homosexual, they were lesbian, they were in a gang, or they were extremely promiscuous. Those are the things that they shared in common. Now, what also they shared in common was, right, by the way, this is not violating any HIPAA. I didn't give out any names. Just in case you're trying to run, come get me. I didn't name not one name. I'm speaking in general, right? And also what they had in common was their sexual experience was either with other preteens, other teenagers, or other adults. I'm here to explain to you that the 83% is responsible for the 17%. That's what I'm going to explain to you. You know what I'm saying? They're responsible for it because they were the 83% are the victims. And then they went to go victimize someone else that was their age, around their age group. I believe the culture is called turning out. I'm gonna turn you out. You know how many brothers and sisters were turned out by other brothers and sisters their age, and sometimes an adult that no one considered to be an adult, like 18, 19 years old? Please, I
got a couple brothers, a few brothers from, when I was in high school or whatever. We still in communication.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a few years ago, they told me, how everybody gets, everybody gets their first job. My first job was Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Somebody's first job is, Hardee's. Somebody's first job is McDonald's. And the brother told me, I didn't know this was happening at the time, but the brother told me that at the time when we're
16 and 17 years old. He said it was a gang of sisters that worked at this particular McDonald's.
Right.
And there was a manager
there
who was a female.
Yes.
And he said he told me this later. He was like it was known that she was turning out all the young girls she hired.
Yes. That's why she got the job. That's why she wanted the job. So she can have the opportunity to abuse teenagers. That's why some of those jobs need to stay with being teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Really, that's really what it is. A lot of those fast food restaurants. Now, I'm not here knocking your hustle, by the way. If you need some money, be an honest McDonald's worker, okay? Be an honest Burger King, Wendy's worker. Work your hours, work your shift. Get that overtime that they'll never give you. They'll never give you overtime. Unless you're a manager, you'll never get that overtime. All right, but do what you got to do to make that money and do it honestly. Go. Oh man! Hey, look, I'm young dog tripping. Man. Make carpet munching. Oh, man. The ham muncher.
Oh.
Like the ham muncher. Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh, God, you want to say something now?
No, I was just gonna say obviously y'all not good. He gonna give you one.
Damn right. Most sign cards, give up their guitar hand. Damn right, because that's exactly what's going on, right? But all jokes aside, though, this is a serious issue. You know what I'm saying? And so I want everybody to understand, like it's real outside. But this is what we have to prepare our people for. That's why. Can you read Exodus 15:2 just real quick?
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High is my strength and song.
So now understand, this is Moses. Now this is a song that Moses is singing to the nation of Israel. Now, keep in mind, singing is a part of our culture. But let's find out what Moses is singing about. It said, the Lord is my strength and song, which means anything the Lord is going to be my song. Not Hezekiah Walker, not Kirk Franklin, not Donald McKirkland. I bet all three of them wish they ran into Sydney Star. Go ahead, especially Donald McKirkland. Donald, is it Donnie or Donald? I can't remember. Donnie. Yeah, Donnie McKirkland. He wished he ran into Sydney Star. Right now he's wishing it was him. He's wishing he wished he was in that hotel. Believe God.
He's jealous right
He's jealous right now. He's jealous of that 16-year-old boy. He's jealous. Let me tell you, and a lot of you Christian pastors out there, you jealous. You heard about Sydney Star and you was mad, like, I wish that was me. Nasty bastards. Damn. Keep reading, Knox. A lot, yes.
and he has become my salvation.
Now remember, the Lord has also become my salvation, meaning he has become something that keeps me out of danger, out of harm's way. Keep going.
He is my power.
Right. He is my power. He is my God. Go ahead.
And I will prepare him in habitation.
It said, and I will prepare him in habitation. Now, can anybody tell me what is a habitation? Y'all can just look it up for me real quick on the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. But if y'all know it off the top of your head by heart, just let me know. But y'all can give me your definition, and then y'all can read the definition.
So it's basically like a place of worship, a house, a home.
A house, a home. I'll go with that. Go ahead, Doc. You got it for me?
So like I said, I just looked it up in the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. It said occupancy or a dwelling place. Exactly.
So give both of you a hand, right? Give both of y'all a hand. That's exactly what it is. It's like a home, a house, a place, somewhere you dwell. Well, guess what? Moses said, and I will prepare him an habitation. Here's the problem with the Christian church. Here's the problem with America. It never prepared a place for the Most High God. It never prepared a place for the Lord. It never did. How do I know? Because Sidney Starr is giving oral sex to a 16-year-old, and he is a Christian. He came out of the Christian church. Our communities are full of Christian churches. On every other block, you'll see a Christian church. You'll see a Muslim mosque. On every almost every other corner, a Muslim mosque. Every corner is the Christian church. Every other corner is some masonry lodge. There's Christianity throughout the Black, Latino, and Native American community. And they have yet to prepare a place for our God. How so? Please,
How so?
No, well, that's not what I was asking, but you had your hand up before. I was like, go ahead.
Like I was saying, how would they prepare the place? How would Christians think that they are preparing a place for the Most High? If all of them have different denominations, they believe in different things.
Exactly. That's a heavy point. Give Officer Shemaiah Bar a hand. How is it that you can prepare a place for the Lord? And every last one of you believe in total different gods. You have Baptists. You have Southern Baptist Convention. You have African American Methodist Episcopal. You have Presbyterian. You have Salvation Army. Like you have Pentecostal. You have 7 Days Adventists. You have so many denominations. You have Lutheranism. You have Catholicism. You have so many, and I mean so many denominations. How is it that you can actually prepare a house for God? This is how we know. Please,
they even have non-denominational.
Oh man, God damn! I forgot. Give us what garage. Damn right, Doc. I forgot about that. You literally have a non-denomination denomination. Like, I'll be damned. Just in case, we don't have a denomination. Okay, so you're non-denominational. Yeah, yes.
That's why we have a whole bunch of confusion going on.
Absolutely.
Because you're confused about being denominational and not denominational.
Right.
So what is it?
Right. What is it? Exactly. That's why you got kids wondering who they are. That's why their sexuality is so damn confused. You don't even know what God you serve. You don't know if you're supposed to be denominational or non-denominational. Well, how is it that your child's supposed to know he a boy or a girl? It's confusion. How do we know? Because our community is full of drugs, full of homosexuality, full of lesbianism, full of absolute violence. That's why. That's how we know that the Christian church failed to make a place to prepare a place for the Lord. Keep reading out.
My father God.
It says, my father's God. My father's God, meaning this God is possessed by one's father. This isn't everybody's God. This God isn't for everyone. This is my father's God. This ain't the God of your forefathers. This isn't the God of your founding fathers. This is the God of my father, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. That's who the God, this is the God of who we serve. Keep reading, Ak.
And I will exalt him.
Meaning I'm going to give him the absolute highest praise. I'm going to put him all the way on the top. You're going to know this is where God is. Wherever you are in whatever city you are living in, you are supposed to know this is where God is. This is where God dwells, because we're supposed to prepare a place for God. And the way to prepare the place for God, the way we must prepare a place for God is we must have brotherhood. We must have sisterhood. We must love each other. We must keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how we prepare him in habitation. There is no other way. Go to verse 3, because this is how we're going to do it. This is how you're going to know who the Lord is and where God dwells. You think building some huge castle for everyone to see on the 1400 block is how you know this city is where God, where this city is where God dwells. That's what you thought. You thought building this castle of a church and this mansion of a church is how people are going to know where God dwells. That ain't what the Bible said. This is what the Bible said. Go ahead, read verse 3.
Verse 3. The Most High is a man of war.
The Lord is a man of war. This is how we prepare. We must go to war because our God is about warfare, because he is a man of war. Go ahead, Doc.
So, like it, sir.
Please.
Can y'all put a comment in the chat? So, like the sister said, she said the non-denominational churches always say they are not part of them other churches. They are not the same religion. She said they just ran out of names.
Yes, you damn right. Give that to the hand. They ran out of several names. They gave up. And you know what? Can anyone tell me what a good precept? Let's see if any of your officers on point real quick. Sidebar. What's a good precept for the non-denominational church? Let's find out who know the Bible just a little bit. So lock you. Officer Michael Barr didn't even go looking. He's like, I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, Adawan. I don't know that one, sir. Salakia. Because when you find this precept, here's the real reason why they're non-denominational. It's gonna blow your mind.
It's like, right?
Go ahead.
Is there like a piece, like something that we would know?
Oh yeah, this is for sure something you should know.
So would it be I might be looking.
No. Well, damn. It should be something y'all know. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you don't know it, but you'll know it by the end of tonight.
Well, it's
You got it? You got it though? You want to okay.
I'm gonna go.
Please.
Is it the New Testament?
Come on, I can't give you that much. Damn.
Is it John 4:22?
Oh, what does John 4:22 say?
Ye worship, ye know not.
That's a good milk scripture to use for this. That's a hell of a good scripture to use in a case like this. That's not what I was looking for, but that's good. You can use this in conjunction with that. Because they I don't want to say that because I'm giving you the answer. But read the scripture. Maybe it'll give you a hint of what I'm going to.
Worship, ye know not what.
There you go. Ye worship, so meaning they don't what? They don't know what they're worshiping.
Right.
That's the precept I'm looking for. You got, let's see what your answer is.
I had something else.
What is it?
It was Acts 17:23.
Read it out.
But as I passed by
and
beheld your devotion.
There you go.
I found an altar with this inscription.
There you go.
To the unknown God.
The what?
The unknown God.
The what?
The unknown God.
Keep reading.
For Slakia, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship.
There you go. Give both of yourselves a hand. Y'all can use both of those precepts together. Like you hammered it home with that. With that John 4:22, you hammered it home. So you have milk with a little bit of, advanced milk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you get y'all, yeah, definitely it. And so that's non-denominational. Non-denominational is they just don't know what God they serve, but they just want to be, they're not sure. They're superstitious. I believe that was the next scripture, I believe. Either before that one or after. It said y'all are too superstitious. The reason why they is it before or after? Previous, right? The reason why they said non-denominational is because they are superstitious people. They want to make sure that they make it to heaven based on what God said and not because of what their denomination is. They're afraid of denominations. So they make themselves non-denominational because they're superstitious. All right. They serve not they don't know who they worship. All right. Now, back to Exodus 15:3 when it says the Lord is a man of war. The Lord has a manly spirit, and that spirit is about warfare. And in order to prepare a place for the Lord, we must go to war for it. We must go to battle. We must fight. We must fight the very thing that made Sydney Starr give oral sex to a 16-year-old boy in a hotel. Can you if you can you put up that article I gave you if you have it whenever you can? Yeah, take your time with it out. Right? I'll keep speaking in the meantime. But listen, we must fight against the force that creates our people like Sydney Starr to have oral sexual intercourse with a 16-year-old in a hotel. The Christian church is responsible for that. We must go to war with Christianity. We must go to war with Islam. We must go to war with Buddhism. We must go to war with tarot cards and palm reading. We must go to war with sage. We must go to war with tossing cinnamon throughout your house, thinking it's going to actually do something. We must go to war with black-eyed peas on the New Year's. We must go to war with the holidays of this society. We must go to war with the 4th of July, Memorial Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, New Year's Eve, Easter. The most celebrated holiday in America are birthdays. We must go to war with birthdays. We can't sit back and just twiddle our thumbs. No longer can we do this because our people are in danger. Our God is our salvation. That's what Moses said. And our people are in danger because they have not been prepared to serve the God of their father, of their forefathers, of their bloodline. That's the problem with so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Are they seeing that right now? Okay, like that's what's going on in the so-called black, Latino, and Native American community. It is time to go to war. It is time to fight. It is time to battle because that is the spirit of the Lord. Most High in Christ. Please. Now, some of y'all know Sydney Starr, right? Where it talks about love and hip hop. You go ahead and read the title for the class whenever you get the chance, please.
So the title of the article is Love and Hip Hop. Love it's a lot.
Did it just exit it out?
What?
Oh, no sweat.
I think it's still up on the screen. Here we go. Love and hip hop personality Sydney Starr accused of molesting boy in hotel room.
So there we go. This is the news article. This is real news. This ain't fake news right now. This is real news. This is what's going on. I know some of y'all probably enjoy Sydney Starr. Take that how y'all want to. Yeah. Oh man. Continue reading out whenever you can. Oh, they always want to have them ads.
All right. It says former Love and Hip Hop New York star Sydney Starr was arrested on multiple charges related to sexual assault allegations against a minor.
Keep reading.
Says Starr, who was born Sydney Favors.
So he was born Sydney Favors. Go ahead.
Was arrested at an Embassy Suites in Hapeville, Georgia.
So there we go. So it was Embassy Suites. Okay, so it wasn't Marriott or Hilton. Please forgive me, Marriott and Hilton. You off the you know what I'm saying? You out the hot seat. Go ahead.
On Sunday, August 2nd, Favors allegedly confessed to performing oral sex on a boy and claimed it was consensual.
It was what?
Consensual.
It was what?
Consensual.
This is the problem with America. Do you know why he's claiming that it's consensual? Can anybody tell me why he's saying and claiming it was consensual? You got your hand up? Yeah, please, Officer Michael Ball.
So he won't be charged with certain like sodomy and molestation and those type of things. He's trying to say it's consensual, so it won't seem like he forced himself.
Okay, that is true, but why is he saying it though?
To protect him.
Yes, but how is it that I should say, how is he able to say that? I should ask that question better. How is it that he can say that this was consensual? You got it up?
I'm not sure.
You might, you might.
But what I do know is in America, because the white man is a natural pedophile and sexual deviant.
There you go.
What he does want to do is make what he wants to do is lower the age of consent over time.
That's right.
And so when you say this is consensual, you're talking about a minor. You really can't have consensual sexual act with a minor. But you're trying to do this to make it, for lack of a better way to say it, to make it okay. You want to say this was consensual because you're a pedophile.
There you go. Now, watch this side. Watch this. Now, give all some ties out Karai hand because absolutely right. The reason how he's able to say that, because the law says a 16-year-old can legally give consent to sexual intercourse. That's how he's able to say that. And that's why he's saying it. But the reality is, if you knew the law of the land, you're not 16 as well, buddy. You're not 17 as well, buddy. You are a grown man. Not just any kind of grown man. You a grown man. Like he a grown man. Like I think he might be in his 40s now, maybe. Yeah, we should look up how old he is. He's been around since Chingy and that. That's early 2000s. Yeah, so sheesh. The only reason why we don't know you old because you trying to be a woman. You're not a grown. We don't know you a grown man. You shaved your beard. You got, please. How old is he?
Quick Google search. Not quite 40.
Okay, not 40. Okay.
40.
How old though?
Born in 1989. 37.
Oh, come on, bro.
37.
1989?
1989.
37? He graduated high school in the early 2000s. That's what that means. Listen, that is an absolute predator right there. Oh my God. So here we go. So in 2009, he was a 20-year-old. You know what I'm saying? 2009, he was a 20-year-old. So now here we are. You have Sydney Starr, known as Sydney Favors, right? He's claiming that he had consensual sex with a 16-year-old boy simply because America's law says you can consent. A 16-year-old can consent to sexual intercourse. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in the back of your head. Keep that in the front of your head, I should say, in your prefrontal cortex. That America says that your child, the one that you made, you gave birth to, can consent to sexual intercourse. That gives the incentive to have sex. That gives the incentive for 16-year-olds to have sex with other 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds, and it's totally legal. It also gives incentives to adults who are 18 and 19. And of course, just terrible predators, way older than that, to have sex with teenagers. That's the problem with the laws of America. That's why we need to fight and go to war as hard as we can, because this is how we prepare our people. Look what we have to prepare our children for. Some of us have children who are 16 or around the age of 16. Some of us have children who are younger than that, who one day will be 16. Imagine how much worse it's going to be in their lifetime. I wouldn't be surprised, Akim, right? I wouldn't be surprised that they use this case in the Supreme Court to get the age of consent lowered. In addition to that, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh no, listen, you laugh, but it's true. I wouldn't be surprised. Listen. No, I know you're not laughing, but I get what you're saying. But go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, you can see it now, can't you?
Sydney Starr versus the state of Georgia.
Yeah, Sydney Starr versus the state of Georgia. Listen now. Please stop.
And then if they actually pass it and she went,
him. Go ahead.
Then he's gonna be the champion.
Yes.
Went against the powers that be for the right to have sex with Mike.
And they're gonna put that on what race of people? Black people. That's their goal. Remember, who's ever on the Epstein list ain't getting charged. But Diddy is in jail. R. Kelly is in jail. So listen, Nakim, I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, the CIA got me tapped right now. This is their plan. They're gonna like, this nigga, we're gonna have to shut him up. How did he know? We might have to excuse me, Chief. We have to postpone the hearing. We got a chamber plan. But here, I wouldn't be surprised if they use this with the Supreme Court to be able to finally get what they want. Older men or women can have consensual relationships with teenagers that are 16 and up. Not lower than 16. They're not going to do that right away. They ain't going to do that. Listen, the white man does things in steps. They would never just run right out the gate. Yeah, you can be in a relationship with a 5-year-old. Even though that's what they want, they ain't going to do that. But they will be like, well, you know, we can use this as an opportunity to be like, well, I mean, they've been consenting to sex this entire time. All of us had sex when we were teenagers. Some of us also had sex with adults. And look how we turned out. We run Congress. We're a U.S. representative. We're a lawyer. We're doctors. We're counselors. And we all had sex as teenagers. We all did drugs. We all did drugs and alcohol with adults. We all had sex with adults. Why not? Why not try to get this guy off and change the law to where adults can have consensual relationships with 16-year-olds? I wouldn't be surprised. Y'all gonna call me crazy after the night. Y'all gonna be like, yo, Captain Yarasimov is a conspiracy theorist. Listen, that's fine. I'm getting a little bit into conspiracy theory as I get older. I'm catching on to you, Mr. White Man. I'm starting to understand this a little bit more. You are the absolute devil that the Bible speaks of. You can finish this out for me, y'all.
Come on, sir. Next paragraph. It says, Favors is charged with sexual battery against a child under 16. Aggravated child molestation and sodomy.
Right.
According to court records viewed by People, which is where this article is.
That's right.
It says a representative for Favors offered no comment when contacted by People.
There you go. That's how it is. I think that's it. Because I think the rest is letting you know that because it's a minor, they can't really disclose too much, right? So that's usually anything. But we must go to war with that spirit. Take me to the next scripture, Bubba Quashah. Like we really have to prepare our people. Give me 1 Samuel 7:3, because 1 Samuel chapter 7 verse 3, because this is another way we prepare. This is how we prepare our people to serve the Most High God, because preparing our people to serve God is throughout the Bible. You can find it everywhere we go. Go ahead and read it whenever you have it.
This is 1 Samuel, chapter 7, verse 3. And Samuel spake unto all the house of Israel.
Now, seer Samuel or prophet Samuel, right? He was a prophet. He was a seer. He was a man of God who was responsible for making sure that the children of Israel or the house of Israel knew what God needs them to do. and what he wants them to do. That was Prophet Samuel's or Seer Samuel's job. The reason why I'm saying seer, because that was another name for a prophet in times past, was a seer. Please keep reading that.
Saying, if ye do return to the Most High with all your heart.
Because even in the Old Testament, returning to the Most High with all your hearts was always something that God wanted us to do as a race of people. Don't be fooled. So-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we must lean back on the Lord. We must return to the God of our forefathers, the God that runs through our bloodline, through our veins. We must lean back and return to the God of our race. Keep reading.
Then put away the strange God.
Say what?
The strange God.
Say what?
The strange God.
This is how you prepare to serve the Lord. This is how you return to serve the Lord. You must, and I mean you must put away those strange gods. You must put away Christianity, Catholicism, Pentecostal, Presbyterian, 7 Days Adventist, Salvation Army, Southern Baptist Convention, Baptist, African American Methodist Episcopal. You must put them away. Keep reading up.
And Ashtaroth.
And who?
Ashtaroth.
I believe that was like a famous god at that time. Go ahead.
From among you.
Meaning you must take this from among your people. That's why we're on the block every Friday, every Saturday, every Sunday. That's why we're teaching class and having podcasts Monday through Sunday, because this is how we prepare our people to return to serve the God of their forefathers. Keep reading.
And prepare your hearts unto the Most High.
This is how you prepare it. You prepare it by putting away the strange gods. Get rid of Islam. No more Allah. Listen, it would have been the icing on the cake if listen, actually it doesn't have to be the icing on the cake. Just know Sydney Starr is also Muslim. You understand? Because Prophet Muhammad believed in having sexual intercourse with children. He was married to a 9-year-old, Aisha. He had sex with a 9-year-old. That's the prophet you believe in if you are a Muslim. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Sydney Starr is also on Sydney Starr would be Muslim. I'm definitely not surprised that he's Christian, but Sydney Starr can be Muslim too. Keep reading out.
And serve him only.
Because this is the only God that we are to serve. Keep going.
And he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines.
Of the who? Of the who?
Of the Philistines.
Of the who?
Of the Philistines.
This is how we get delivered out of the hands of other races of people whose intentions are to oppress us. The intentions of the Philistines was to oppress the children of Israel, to destroy the children of Israel, because the Philistines hated, despised, loathed, and abominated the children of Israel. Well, it took King David to go to war with Goliath to get them to understand we ain't the ones to play with. You're not going to play on my top. You ain't going to play in my face. And so he slung a rock. I ain't talking about crack or nothing. I ain't talking about that weight or that work. No, he slung a rock, a slingshot to the dome. That's what King David did. That's your modern day switch, your modern day Draco, your modern day Glock. That's what that is. King David was good with the switch. King David was a young man. He was a young nigga who was good with the Draco, with the banana clip, the extendo. That's who King David was. That's in the Bible. That's the only way that we're going to save our people and prepare our people to serve God so we can be delivered out of the hands of these other races of people. Don't allow the Christian church trick you into believing that we should continue to be in the hands of these other races of people. We have no business being at the mercy of these other nations and races of people as we are now in our own communities. We are at the mercy of the Chinese because of the Christian church. We are at the mercy of the Arabs because of the Christian church. We are at the mercy of the East Indians because of the Christian church. We are at the mercy of the so-called white man because of the Christian church. That's why Sydney Starr went into the Embassy Hotel and had oral sex with a 16-year-old, because we are at the mercy of our oppressors. And because we are at the mercy of our oppressors, we have no mercy for each other. And so we abuse each other the way we've been abused by our oppressors. Because our oppressors must have a community full of homosexuality. They must have a society full of lesbianism, full of child molestation, full of abuse. That's where that culture comes from. Give me Ecclesiasticus, where it says, prepare thy soul for some temptation. Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 17. All right. Actually, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1 first. That's what we have to understand. The entire spirit of our oppressor is homosexual, is lesbian, is bisexual, is transgenderism, is queer. That's the spirit of our oppressor, is LGBTQIA+. That's the spirit of this nation. A lot of our sisters out there, they don't even know that they are dressing up like a trans woman. They don't even know that they're wearing clothes that a homosexual designer designed for them to wear. A lot of you brothers are wearing clothes that are designed by a homosexual, and you thought it was okay in 2026 to wear skinny jeans, and your jeans are bedazzled. They're bedazzled out. Not with studs on them, not with rhinestones on them, but they're bedazzled out. I remember growing up, there was a bedazzle machine. My sisters had a bedazzle machine, and they would bedazzle their shirts. It was a girl thing to do. Now they're selling it to the men and the boys in City Trends. Oh my God! Please, you got something to say?
The heavy part, as far as these fashion designs, is homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Owens, everybody want to wear these Rick Owens shoes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a homosexual.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Ford, he's a homosexual.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's real heavy that you pointed out. Right?
Damn right. I'll give off Shamaka Bar a hand. Our sisters don't even realize the clothes that they wear, they got it from a trans woman. Let me tell you something. Let me let you into a secret that the industry doesn't want you to know. Those famous women rappers are forced to dress the way they are. They were conditioned and groomed to dress like a trans woman. So when you look up Sexy Red, when you look up Meg Thee Stallion, when you look up Young Miami, when you look up Cardi B, when you look up all these sisters in the rap game, in the industry, like Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj, etc., even though she's a heathen, right? They are dressing like a trans woman. And where do trans women get their dress code from? Prostitution. That's where they got it from. They got it from white prostitutes, because white women as prostitutes would dress as revealing as possible because they were trying to advertise what they were selling, which was their tail, which was their box, which was their breast. That's what they were selling. They were selling oral sex. They were selling cunnilingus. They were selling all kinds of sexual intercourse, like fellatio. That's what they were selling. And so they had to dress a certain way. Why did white women become prostitutes? Because of their white men. Because their white men must have a society full of women who had many penises inside of them. They can't have sex with you unless you have had a penis in you. Some of you brothers are so attracted to hoes and these sluts and whores out here because you can't fathom having sex with a woman who hasn't had another penis inside of her. You know what you call it these days? You call it experience. You know what you call it these days? Oh, she too green around the ears. That's what you call it. You're gay. You're a homosexual. You like men, like how white men like men. Because white men must have a society full of women who've been ran through. White men must, listen, this was going to blow your mind, Akim. Maybe, maybe not. But it's so much so, that's why the porno industry exists. Like they must have the ability to be able to watch other men have sex with women. That's how gay and homosexual their society is. Some of y'all sisters thought y'all was straight. Yeah, no, you're not. You're a homo. You're a lesbian with what you're wearing. You thought you liked men, huh? I'll prove you wrong today. If you going out there dressed the way you are, with your tail out, your camel toe, and your breasts, and you're walking out on the street with a onesie, with a one jumpsuit, as if you're about to enter into a cage match, SmackDown, Raw, WWE. Let's get ready. Like that's what you are. You don't even realize it, sis. That comes from the LGBTQIA plus community. The white man's culture is surrounded by homosexuality. It's surrounded by it. Don't get trapped. Give me read Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and 1.
Oh, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1. My son.
Go. Now it said, my son. This is talking to you, Sydney Star. I know you don't want to believe it, but this is talking to you, Sydney Star. It said, my son. All right. I'm talking to you right now, Sydney Star. My son. God, my son. All right. You're a son. You're not a daughter, not a girl, not a woman. You are a son. So this scripture is for you. It's dedicated to you. Keep reading on.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord.
If you're going to come and serve the Lord, go ahead.
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
To prepare thy soul for temptation. This is what the Christian church lacked. This is what the Christian church, the Christian leaders failed to do for our people. There is nothing but temptation outside of our doorstep. We are in the times of temptation. Did anybody know that we are living in the time of temptation? That's why Sydney Starr was able to develop the gall to go into a hotel room and give oral sex to a 16-year-old boy. My question is, this is just the time that he got caught. How many other times have he done it and he didn't get caught? Ooh-wee. And you say he was born 1989. So who knows? So through the 90s, he was being abused. And then once the 2000s came around, he was doing the abusing. So from 2007 all the way into 2026, he may have been giving oral sex to 16-year-old boys. Or worse. No, you're right, Salakia. Go ahead and make your point, though, if you need to.
Or worse, because to your point, this is the one that we know about.
Right.
One that told Sly.
One that told.
One that got found out.
Or one that got found out. I don't care whether, if I could, I want 9 times out of 10, I don't care whether you stealing, whether you selling dope, whether you a PDF, whether you molested children. You do not get caught your first time.
Not at all.
You could be a serial killer, and you do or unalive.
Right.
You 9 times out of 10 don't get caught your first time.
That's correct.
That's
a heavy point.
There's a series. There's a whole line of bodies.
Right.
Before that.
That's right.
Please. This is supposed to be some type of television star.
Correct.
Right. So if you're a television star, you're getting paid money. You on these sitcoms, you're on these shows, interviews, podcasts, you're getting paid money.
Absolutely right.
What does a 16-year-old have to offer you?
Exactly.
So basically you did that for free.
Yes.
So basically you're just so wicked and confused and nasty. You had so much of a PDF that you wanted to do this.
That's right. That's exactly what he did. That's good. Give us Shmaga Bar hand and also Tata Karaka. That's true. He's a maybe this is what Rick James must have been singing about. I think I don't know. I gotta start looking into because he was on them. Listen, Rick James was on that stuff.
What did he say?
Right. Cocaine was a hell of a drug. Cocaine was a hell of a drug. I think we might have figured out what Rick James was singing about. We might want to be careful singing that song nowadays. And I saw how they were dressed in that video. I saw it. And I've seen many. And listen, this trans woman stuff was there in the 70s now. So, I don't know, Akim. I'm just saying to be careful out there. All right, y'all brothers in the world. I know my brothers in here are good. Y'all brothers in the world, though, y'all gotta tread carefully now. You might want to be careful what the world conditioned you to have a taste for. They have conditioned you to have a taste for men. You thought you were having a taste for Sexy Red. No, you've been built to have a taste for someone like Sydney Starr. How much you want to bet on is when he found out that was a man, that 16-year-old boy dipped out that room and told. You know what I'm saying? That's most likely what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because of course he's thinking this is he's 16. He hasn't been in the world long enough to kind of tell, he ain't that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get taught that. Then I remember growing up, I was like 10 years old. I was in New York City. They used to call them drags back in the day. Hopefully I don't get clipped for that because, I got to be careful. But they were called queens back in the day. I'll say that. They can't flag me for that. Okay, good. Right, but not for queens, you know what I'm saying? But they were called queens back in the day. And I was growing up and I was in my dad took me to Harlem. And it was around my dad took me to Harlem, but I was with my older brother. And I was like 13, 14 years old, right? And I'm in Harlem and I see these like 3 men walking through dressed like women. Now at 13, I was like, hey bro. I looked and I said, hey yo, bro, those are some tall women. I'm thinking I wasn't paying attention, right? I'm not like focused on them. But I just like, hey, yo, those are some tall women because all I see them is a dress. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. and then there was a brother behind me. And he was like, those ain't no women. I was like, and so I took an extra look. I was like, oh, because you're not paying attention. I can only imagine how bad it is today because no one's telling them. And then we're talking about Georgia. Georgia's known for Sodom and Gomorrah. Known for it. Please, Ak.
One of the first things you taught me early on when I came into the truth is that the white man, the oppressor, does things in steps.
Damn right.
Right. We went from having wholesome families before integration to then having a taste for 304s. And now it's gone so far, as you just said, correct, that they are trying to make our brothers have taste for other men.
Give Osman Taza Karai a hand, because that's exactly it. That's the point. That's the 16-year-old boy that was in the Embassy Hotel. He didn't realize the entire time he was being groomed, right? He thought he was being groomed to get into a Sexy Red or a Meg Thee Stallion or a Glorilla. Instead, he got into a Glow Fella. That's what he got into. You know what I'm saying? A Glow Fella. That's who he ran into. Yeah, he turned into he found a Glow Fella. Sydney Starr. That's who the Glow Fella he ran into. You understand? So we up on time. Listen, like I said, for you brothers in the world, be extremely careful outside. I feel bad for y'all. Y'all should come into the truth. And you can get as much vagina as you please. You don't have to worry about running into anything called a penis. You can just get real authentic Natural raised born vagina. Coming to the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. All right. I passed the class to Officer 50 Shamakaba.
All right. We are the Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. Starting out of 1 West on 125th Street out of Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. For 6 months, for a year. All right. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for a year. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves or the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After a year, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another year in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this year period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is his commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you will like. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the Feast of Blowing Trumpets. That's September 11th. That falls on a Friday. All right. If you need any route or any more information, call 757-550-1204 and get in contact with someone that way. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, they are to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. Also, you are to call 757-550-1204. If there are any sisters that aspire to be a sister in the school, you are to call 757-550-1204. And with that, Madim, which means to stand, Salaki. We're going to give a salute to the highest ranking man in the room, men of Israel, Mashabat, Madim, Barak, Yahweh, Shimei, Shabbat,
Yahweh, Shimei, Shabbat,
yeah, Ty. We're going to Sar, turns to sisters, right? Yashabi, which means to stand to sisters, for the sisters. Amat Salaki, Amadim, which means to stand for the sisters, all right? Men of Israel, we're going to give a salute to the sisters. Mashabat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh, Ta, class is missed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're